It's getting crazy out here, y'all. Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, look and find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Look and find your way. Yeah, take a look around you, look and find your way, babe. Look and find your way. Yeah, I talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do. I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice payday. You don't wanna say that. You don't want this payback. I keep my composure. This my kingdom, nigga. Stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, on it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of me to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had. Stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical. Clearly now, the pain is gone. The fame is on. And they play my songs. Yeah, it's real.
He's heating up!
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do.
You're not making this easy on me, boy.
Where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real gang, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. COVID-19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines we find out. And getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change the way. Got things to do. I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said, take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe.
What's your name, fat body?
Find your way, babe.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Transitioning young people. Come on. Want to become a woman? Daddy.
Let's go.
Cut everything off immediately.
Common sense and logic.
She was 12, I was 30.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Normeth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 25 35 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2, flexing on all you
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
What's going on, beaches? Welcome to Swole Slut Saturday. It's April the 15th, and the Tainty Man is in tow and looking super. You look fantastic, Tainty Boy. Oh, my sweet, sweet Tainty Boy. Close your eyes, my little Tainty Man. Put it up for the Tainty Boy himself. All right, we got a great show today. Welcome, come one, come all. Hit the thumbs up button and check the links in the show notes down below to listen, to watch the podcast, all those good things. But of course, those of you here for the live stream, you're already banging your eye holes and ear holes. Make sure that you're going to swolenormousx.com. That's swolenormousx.com, because we have amazing private live streams a few times a week. And guess what? Yesterday, we had an absolutely epic overtime segment with a brand new Drive While Gaining. Now, we went super hard, super deep, and we did a really because inflation is so bad in this country, because they just won't stop fucking printing money, we decided to inflate our overtime segment as well. So we added another DWG. We did a throwback. We watched the one from last week because the recording didn't finalize, and we dropped a brand new Driving While Gaining. So make sure you go over there and catch yesterday's overtime segment. Now, if you can't catch the live streams, I get it. You're working, you got a job and shit, you got responsibilities, but make sure you go and catch the replay inside Swole TV. So join now, swolenormousx.com, get access to all of our programs, all of our training, yoga, meditation, elimination diet, thousands of masterclasses and recipes and Swolga sessions and swollen sevens and brain gains. There's so much over there. swolenormousx.com. Join the fam today. And of course, you'll also get access to all those private live streams. You don't want to miss that. We have a accountability meeting coming up on Monday at 12 noon, brand new releases and stuff. And it's a great time. So we'll see you over there, swolenormousx.com. Glad you enjoyed that overtime. A lot of you are dropping. Certainly love that new DWG. Thank you, Loretta. I'm glad you enjoyed overtime. It was great. Fantastic, Michelle. It was fire. Damn right. It was fucking lit. So that being said, today is going to be lit as well. Glad to have all the Swole Sluts tuning in, and turning out. Let's bust the nut open and get today's Swole card exposed. Shall we dance? Who's ready for an amazing stream today? I am.
What's in the box?
Put some respect on it. What are you smashing today? Vishas, drop it in the comments down below. Swole Sluts, where are you at? Hashtag triple S at Swole Sluts Saturday. Swole Sluts Saturday, and cheers to you, Leo, you raging alcoholic. Oh my God. All right. Hashtag triple S. You might not want to write the word Swole Slut because Zark Zuckerberg or I don't know, Xi Jinping is going to fucking ban you or something. So make sure you just put the triple S. Hashtag triple S Swole Slut in the comments down below. Swole Slut Saturday. And we'll give that Swole card away at the end of today's episode. Now, fam, let's moisturize, spit on it so we can get that tip in. It's pulsating today. You know what I'm saying? Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. Big fucking girth.
Big,
Big, just girthy. Big, absolutely fucking girthy cock. Okay, getting out of control. Let's get into the first Swole fan post. Welcome, Carson. Welcome, BK and Alan. A reminder, we have some new drops over there on papaswolio.com. Use code Daily Swole for 10% off. Check out our brand new drop from this past week, Guns, Bacon, and Freedom. I know you like that one, Freddie. I know you do. That's you. That's you. That's you. He's a falcon. He's an eagle. He's whatever you want it to be. He's fucking America. That's what he is. Guns, Bacon, and Freedom, brand new design. It is summer swole season. It's coming up. It's right here. It's fucking roasting. The sun is destroying tits outside. We're coming up on summer America season. So make sure you go and pick up some new merch, brand new Guns, Bacon, and Freedom. We have some awesome USA designs coming out for the summer, and we're just getting started. It's mid-April. We are going to vomit some awesome shit, and hopefully we have a new one that's ready for Monday for the accountability meeting. So check it all out, papaswolio.com. Use that special code, Daily Swole, for 10% off. First Swole fan post from Anissa in our pillar number 2 nutrition section on the discussion boards. She writes, day 3 and love all the info. I've done Whole30, so I know that soy doesn't agree with me. Today I'll start eliminating dairy and peanut butter. I'm thinking those might be the culprits, making me hold onto my belly fluff. 55 over here, and holy crap, it takes a lot longer to see results. FYI, I've been eating 90% amazing and weight training for over a year, so this isn't my first rodeo. Any advice on belly fluff is welcome. Well, thank you for being here, and I'm glad you enjoyed the content. Dairy, processed dairy, pasteurized dairy is definitely a good idea to remove. Peanut butter is a big no, so good job on removing that. I can't really tell you anything else advice on belly fluff without knowing all your other habits, so make sure you're getting quality sleep, lifting weights, organ meats, protein and fat. Sauna is great. Cold plunging is fantastic. So these are just some other ideas, but you might be eating more inflammatory foods that you're not aware of. Also, 90% amazing. If you're frustrated with results and you're eating 90% amazing, 10% is a massive portion of your nutrition to be sacrificing. So let's get that 90% up as close to 100 as possible. And it's really reframing how you view your nutrition. It's not about restricting. It's not about binge eating or cheating. It's about eating the foods that work best for you. And they are fantastic and they are delicious. And you'd be shocked at how much 10% makes in terms of a difference. So think about anything else in your life. 10% improvement is a massive, massive difference. So if you know you're eating 90% amazing, are you being honest? Is it really 80%? A lot of times we think we're doing better than we really are objectively. So keep that in mind, Anissa, and you're just starting. So with a Swole fam, so keep that in mind. Don't rush anything, and reach out for any other questions or context that we can share here on the podcast. So thanks for posting, and welcome to the fam again. Welcome to the fam. I would recommend looking into getting some grass-fed raw dairy. Pasteurized dairy is a no, but raw dairy, I love it. We have it all the time. Brandon, let's go, Brandon. All
Come
right.
on, man.
Okay.
Matt Damon.
Okay. All right. All right, Brandon, leg day smashed. Tomorrow will most likely be a recovery day. I'm thinking either swimming or bike riding. My man.
Yow.
I hear that. Today's definitely a recovery day for me, chilling out. Veronica says, hi, everyone. My name is Cassandra. Your name says Veronica. Your name says Veronica. What am I supposed to do with that?
What the fuck is that?
What am I supposed to do with that? All right. My name is Cassandra. I'm 28 years old from California. I just signed up for primarily a better education about my body's nutrition requirements and mobility to begin with. Eventually, my goal is to recover enough to the point that I can begin bodybuilding. I've struggled with weight gain since my mid-teens, reaching around 225 pounds. Now, I fluctuate between 178 and 150. I had great success last year dropping below 150 until my health kind of went downhill. My goal is to reach that again sustainably and find my rhythm between diet and exercise. Discipline isn't so much the issue for me as much as what my body will allow me to eat at the current time. There's no periods. I need some punctuation. My goodness. Cassandra, give me some punctuation. Can I get a period? Please. Can I get a period? I'm a man, but I can have a period, can't I? Can't I? No? Too soon?
Boys have a
No?
penis. Girls have vagina.
Tomato paste? No? Okay. I'm realizing, why am I out of breath reading this? I'm like, oh, there's no punctuation. So let me pause. My body will allow me to eat at the current time. I have, quote, endometriosis, and specific foods tend to trigger massive flares. And unfortunately, I've struggled to find what I can actually sustainably eat for maintaining a healthy weight without triggering a painful flare. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited to get started. I'm going to the fucking gym right now. Welcome to the fam. So I would make sure that you are, elimination diet all the way. A lot of what like PCOS and endometriosis is insulin resistance issues and definitely inflammatory foods. So I'm not sure what you currently are eating. So I would love to hear more about what you're currently eating. And a lot of these things are treatable and big time. You can make massive changes with lifestyles, massive improvements with lifestyle changes. So definitely want some more context from Cassandra. I'm trying not to say Veronica. So welcome to the fam, and we're looking forward to hearing more from you. So definitely share more and make sure you're joining the Facebook group and the Telegram as well. I know you're posting this on the Discord, but the Telegram chat, we're in there probably the most. And the Facebook group, everyone's really in there back and forth. So make sure that you're posting in all the other different groups too. That way, members that are using primarily other ones, a lot of people jump between both, but the Telegram is a pretty constant chat. So the Swole Fam Telegram chat, we definitely recommend for you to get in there and break down a little bit more what your nutrition is, and or the Daily Swole podcast. Come here and share with us. Jenny says, been a while since I posted, had a cold and finally got back into the gains this week. My hubby wrote messages on all my Swolenormous worksheets. The one below is my favorite because the face he drew is the one I make when getting pumped up. It's a flat face. Time to get pumped up. Very nice. That's awesome. Aww. That's awesome. Great support from your man. Good man. Does he make sick fucking gains too? Is he making gains too? You picked a good one, Jenny. He's a keeper. He's a keeper. And perhaps the best post in history. No, it's not the best post in history, but it's an amazing post. It's right up there. It's right up there. This is one from Michelle flexing her new P3S6. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Boom shakalaka!
And you can't see the buttmathyroid part, but you can see the PS, the signature on the back of the shirt. Looking awesome. And has everyone gotten their P3S6? I know we showed Nick's picture yesterday giving the middle finger, the double-barreled middle finger to everyone with his buttmathyroid shirt. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, it should be coming any moment now. I guess it depends on where you're living, but I think everyone pretty much has their P3S6. Everyone yesterday was like, I got mine. So you probably have yours already. So let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Love it. All right, let's get into some knowledge cog juices. If you're ready to join the Swole Fam, head on over to swolenormousx.com. We have a lot of amazing people. And I love the stories. I love the posts. I love the posts of members crushing it, of members going to the gym. I love the ones of new members introducing themselves and sharing a little bit of their struggles and their journey. So if you haven't yet introduced yourself, make sure you do so in the groups. Check out your Get Started series. That way you can learn how to join all the private groups and then introduce yourself, and then we can get to know you better and share some of your stories. Of course, keeping them anonymous. We won't share your names or your full names on the podcast, but definitely these stories help everyone else get some more context too. So just to reiterate, I like to do this now and again. If you're a new member or you're someone who kind of lurks in the background, you might not think that any kind of little win for you is a big deal. And like, oh, everyone else is posting major weight loss and all these other major changes. But understand that there are many members and many people that are observing and get inspired and relate to your post. So never underestimate the value of what you're sharing, even if it's a small win or a small struggle that you overcame. Make sure you share it. Make sure you share your stories, because a lot of people are going to get inspired and get reinvested when they see something that they can relate to, and you have no idea what other people are going through, and it's important. So we like to share all those stories because you never know what's going to come from it. All right, first post. We'll take a call next. We'll take one from John. Papa Swolio, not a question. Sorry. God damn it.
Matt Damon.
God damn it. Tricked me. Not a question, but I took my grandmother to the emergency room last night, and 90% of the MDs, nurse practitioners, and physician assistants were obese or morbidly obese. Truly eye-opening. that healthcare practitioners can't even take care of themselves. Yeah, I mean, it's very antithetical. It doesn't make sense because it's not really healthcare, it's sick care. They're taking care of people, especially in the emergency room, people that have immediate need of medical attention. The issue is the things that are the most important for health is quality eating and proper sleep. All these doctors and nurse practitioners, which are pretty much almost doctors, they're working these ridiculous shifts, these long hours. They're running on their feet all the time. They don't have time to pause and eat something. So they're grabbing candy bars and snacks and shit. Can you eat well? Sure. But we all know how important sleep is. And a lot of these, they're working night shifts or they're on call and they're doing all sorts of stuff where they're, even if you're eating quality food, not sleeping is really going to jack you up. So it's very unfortunate. And it's because a lot of these hospitals and all these places are chronically understaffed. So they have to work these long shifts and they're stretched between, they're juggling 10 different patients in different rooms and they're going back and forth nonstop. It's very stressful. Not to mention the stress itself. It's not just the sleep or the lack of sleep, which causes a lot of stress. It's the stress on top of that because you're not just up all night sitting in a room looking at a security screen or something like that. You're in stressful situations with people that might, life or death situations in many ways. Grizzly says, I can vouch for that. When I worked in a hospital, they always ate crap from outside places. No one packed their own food. Yeah, I mean, can you do it? Sure. But again, the sleep is so much more important than food. This is why I always talk about it. The sleep is more important. So fundamentally, you're not getting sleep. So even if you ate well, you're still negatively affecting your health. Yeah. All right. If you have a question live or you want to call in, go to askpapaswolio.com. If you're dropping a question live, use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio. A lot of people just drop hashtag APS, but you can go to askpapaswolio.com and submit a call. We'll take one from Jason. Jason, you're on the greatest sleazecast in the realm.
Hey, Papa Swolio. This is Jason from Colorado. I just wanted to say I've been listening to your podcast for about a month now, and it's been giving me a large amount of motivation. Been using the gym 6 times a week, even though I work a lot of double shifts at work. I work 12 hours a day, and I'm still trying to find an hour or two a day where I can work out. Even if the gym is closed, I do calisthenics. This year, I've been trying to get over addiction, so I haven't had any alcohol in the last few months, and I've been battling with that for a few years now. I stopped smoking weed, but the one thing I can't seem to quit is cigarettes, and that really messes with my cardio routines because 2 minutes into it, I'm already hacking up a lung. I climb a lot of mountains out here in Colorado, which is why I use the gym. But with the high altitude and everything, cigarettes really messes me up on that. And I was just wondering if you had any advice for getting past that addiction. Thank you.
Well, that's a tough one. First off, I'd like to pose this to all of you in the Swole fam, those of you that are watching live, those of you that have kicked that habit. One thing that is really good for addictions, I will say, of course, your nutrition, proper sleep, removing these things from your environment, any possibility of you purchasing cigarettes or being around people that are smoking. At the same time, one thing that a lot of people do use for addiction recovery is actually cold plunging and therapy because of the dopamine release. One of the issues with with smoking cigarettes is all the additional chemicals and all the other factors that they're putting in. It's not the nicotine itself. It's the smoke. It's the hundreds of chemicals and other things that are mixed in there to keep you hooked and to really get you addicted. But I know some of you have dealt with alcoholism. A lot of you dealt with these types of things. So I'd like to default to some of you for that, but maybe, I don't know if you ever tried, Jason. I appreciate the call and thanks for the support. I'm glad that you're getting inspired by listening to the Mancast. I would recommend looking into maybe cold plunging too. I'm not saying, hey, you cold plunge, you won't smoke anymore, but it can also be beneficial for you going through something very difficult on a regular basis. Just like quitting cigarettes is going to be difficult, but also you'll get that dopamine release and you might have other sorts of endorphins that maybe can help weather those cravings and weather those other impulses. It can be part of it. Just a thought there to start. Barrett, Papa Soy, I ordered a sleep mask. Never used one before. Any tips? Put it on your face. Put it on your face and go to bed. Make sure it's not too tight. I mean, a sleep mask is fine, but if you have a bright room and a sleep mask, it doesn't necessarily make all the difference because you have a lot of photoreceptors that are in your nose, and your body is going to necessarily be sensing these things. So if you can block out your room, make a cold, dark room, that's a great thing. But a sleep mask can help if you have like light leakage in your room. Grizzly, I used to smoke cigs, had the worst cotton mouth, and I traded one addiction for another. That being the gym. Cerny, cigarettes are tough. You just have to make your mind up to do it. Go visit some lung cancer patients in the hospital. That's a good one. Go look at people, and don't just look at things on Google. Go visit them in real life. You know, people that are smoking cigarettes through their fucking trachea. Get some perspective as to where you're heading. That's some real talk, Cerny. Good for you. Grizzly, Papa Soy, before you took fitness seriously, how rambunctious were you? Rambunctious? What do you mean? I mean, I've been active my whole life. I was playing baseball and soccer and basketball and lacrosse and shit since I was really little. So in terms of going to the gym, that was high school, like late high school, I started training and lifting. And I wasn't super serious. My friends were doing it and I wanted to lift. But when I went to college is when I really got into it. But rambunctious, just breaking shit, just throwing shit against the wall. All right. Let's see here. Let's take another call. We'll take one more. We got one more call, and then we'll take some more questions from Instagram and stuff. We'll go balls deep. But live questions, hashtag Ask Papa Soy in the comments. And remember, tomorrow is the Red, White, and Swole Sunday Fun Day Q&A. So we're just taking tons of questions tomorrow. So if you have any questions, you listen to this later, oh, I should call in, I should have followed up, go to askpapasoyo.com, call in. Tomorrow is just tons and tons of questions. So we're only doing questions tomorrow. We got one from Tony Parasak. Tony Parasak.
Hi, Papa Soyo. This is Tony from France.
Hello, Tony.
And I'd like to thank you, first of all, for all the good work you've been doing. And I've been listening to your podcast for about a month now, and I really got addicted to it. Keep the good work. My question was about the clubs. You often recommend us to start with a 5-pound club. As it's kind of difficult to find one here in France, I was wondering if I can start with a 5-pound hammer. Can you do the trick? Thanks for your answer, man. Keep the good work.
Well, thank you so much for the support, for calling in, and I'm glad they're getting into clubs. So a 5-pound hammer. Yeah, you know, that's all it is. There's just different shapes, and you can swing. I mean, a lot of the moves are similar to doing sword training or taking a big stick or a wooden club, and obviously you can buy wooden clubs. If you're in France, you can check out Body Mind Fit. He ships from the UK, so it's local. They're wood clubs, but you can find clubs like that. Anything with a weight at the end. The thing with a hammer, it might not, I mean, it's not made for that kind of swinging, but you sure can. It just might not be completely balanced. But a lot of the clubs that I purchase aren't completely balanced. It just adds to the challenge. So it depends on the length, the width of the handle, how the weight distribution is. So a club is a club and a weight is a weight. You can make your own. You can do different things. There are things you can swing with a rope. You can actually have a rope with a weight at the end. It's a different timing. It's a different skill. It's a different coordination. So you can definitely do that as long as you're being safe and as long as it's reasonably balanced. And if it's a rubber mallet or a hammer, it usually is pretty balanced. It just might not be, it's not exactly the same thing, but you can definitely practice a shitload with it. And then probably when you get a club, it'll be a lot easier to hold. The thing is with a steel club, if it's steel and it's a 5-pounder, the weight is often a lot in the handle too, because the length is going to be different than if you go with a lighter material. So if you try to go for a 5-pound wood club, it's going to be a much bigger club than a smaller 5-pound steel because steel is more dense. So you can do a hammer, you can do a mallet, you can tie a water ball at the end of a stick. Like you can do a lot of different things. Technically, you can do a similar motion. It'll just be a different skill and a different timing and a different movement pattern slightly. So that's really all the wood clubs are. People shape them in all different ways. I have so many wood clubs that are just different. It's just different shapes of wood, and they're all challenging in their own way. Ann Spence, oh geez, my supervisor a few years ago was dying of lung cancer and in the hospital begging her friend to bring her cigarettes. Oh, yeesh. Mariah, never even heard about clubs and maces till this channel. Fantastic training to support color guard. Good for you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Lady Hawk, I feel bad for anyone battling addiction. I just don't have the addictive personality. I've never smoked, but I've drank alcohol, but it was always a take it or leave it thing. Yeah, I hear that. I think a lot of it too, it depends. Everyone's different. But the more you learn, the more you educate yourself. Like some people were saying, go and talk to. This is why I also really take care of my health and I think long term. With my training, I think long term. I want to be doing this for the next 30, 40 years or so. And because I trained, I lived with my grandparents for a period of time. I've trained a lot of geriatric. I did a lot of corrective exercise for people that were not very mobile. So I've seen what it's like when you don't take care of yourself when you get to your 60s or 70s or 80s. It's not fucking pretty. I've seen people that were frail in their 50s and 60s that I'm like, Jesus Christ. It was cringe training them. It was just painful in myself. And that was always inspiration. It was always inspiration. I would train them and, make my money and train them corrective exercise. And they were nice people and all that stuff. But that's why I would always train like an animal. Like I'd never want to have trouble standing up and sitting down like this person, especially at that age. So it was very eye-opening, spending time with people that have something that you want to avoid. So go and spend time, go and check out people that have stage 4 lung cancer or smoking addictions. And, sometimes seeing your future like in front of you sitting in a chair, it's like, yo, fuck that. And sometimes looking at a picture on Google of like a black lung doesn't do it. Just saying. Yeah, Barrett says, make decisions today that you'll appreciate 10 years from now. It's hard to get that perspective, but 10 years comes quick. That's what she said. Oh.
Now, once you've had sex with the woman, she will naturally start to depend on you, okay? All women do this.
Ooh, that was loud. Great soundboard. Sunny fans out there? Okay, let me take that down a notch. Pull that down a notch. All right. So let's gonna blow out people's ear holes. Let me see. We got some new soundboards. In case you didn't notice. Make sure I don't blow ear holes out. Okay. Get some perspective. But that takes a very self-aware person to go and do that. But it's worth it. Donna Cutie says, what advice would you give to lose belly fat? I'm in a calorie deficit, working out 6 days, 6 days a week. What advice? I would look into your nutrition and your sleep. It's such a vague question. Calorie deficit isn't the most important thing. Food quality is the most important thing. Sleep is a very important thing. Hydration, exercise, lifting weights. Those are all very important. So I'm glad you're working out. I don't know what you're doing. You're in a calorie deficit. What are you eating? What are your other habits? 7 pillars. Go to soulnormousx.com, download the 7 pillars, Donna, and make sure you have that framework. And then we would love to have you come back and call in, askpapasawyer.com, and give a little more context as to what you're eating, and then maybe we can pinpoint certain things. I don't know if you're on birth control, other things, because when you fuck up your hormones, if you're slathering yourself in phthalates and other types of petrochemicals, and you're on birth control, and then you're eating foods that are causing inflammation, these kinds of layers of endocrine disruption can build up over time. And a lot of times it takes a long time for your body to clear this shit out, and yeah, it can get funky. Eric Monty, Papa Soul, you started listening on Spotify 2 weeks ago. Glad to have you. I'm 255 pounds, run or lift every day, feel really good. Should I be concerned about dropping my body weight more? 255 pounds, are you 6'8"? Are you 6 feet 8 inches? In my opinion, you should. Having very high body fats puts you at greater risk for all-cause mortality. So you're in the process of maybe dropping body fat. I don't know if you're lifting weights, how hard you're lifting weights. I don't know what your nutrition is like. You definitely don't want to have excessive amounts of body fat. So I'm glad you feel really good. That's fantastic. I don't know how old you are too. A lot of people feel really good for a while until they don't feel good anymore. So, I mean, you're doing a lot more than most people. That's great. You didn't mention anything about your nutrition, and you're watching live. So if you want to give us some more context as to what your habits are, you can go in a little more detail here. You can also call in if you want to do it on the phone. Get to the question tomorrow too. And remember, 255 pounds, just a weight. It's like, well, how tall are you? Because if you look average size and you just happen to genetically be 6 feet 5 inches and you're just, you don't look obese or anything, you might still be 240 just because of your bone structure and how tall you are. All right, let's see. Syed Zadeh, Papa Sully, what's the best age to hit the gym consistently? That depends. You can be active since you're a child. You don't necessarily need focused, progressive overload training with barbells and stuff when you're 8 years old. But you can still lift things and go climbing and playing. When you're that age, you really need to just do total body coordination, total body movements, maybe climbing ropes, going out in the grass, being barefoot, moving your entire body. You don't have to do focused weight training. So it really depends on your intensity, the best age, or what the rules are of your gym. Some gyms have a minimum requirement where you have to be with an adult, depending on where you are. So I'll just tell you what I did. I started lifting more consistently towards like junior or senior year of high school. And then in college, so I was like 18, 19, I really started hitting it hard. So a lot of kids today are starting a lot younger, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's a good thing, or it depends on how hard you're going. A lot of kids are taking shit way too young, and I was just doing creatine when I first started lifting in high school and college. Nutrition is the most important thing, so. All right. Hamza Gainey, how can I get hair like you? You can't. You can't. You need to have my parents, and also my hair has improved in quality as I've eaten more nutritious food and getting in connective tissue and high protein and fat and getting quality sleep. That definitely helps tremendously. That'll help you. Proper nutrition and sleep and lifestyle habits will help you have the best hair that you can have. But of course, genetics play a role in that kind of stuff. So you'll never look like me. You'll look like you, just a better version of you. Dennis P. Papa Sully, I'm broke as fuck. Any tips for home workout? Yeah. Go to soulnormalsex.com/links. Try a free yoga class. We have free yoga classes. We offer some free classes. You can look up free body weight workouts and stuff at home. You could do pull-ups, push-ups, yoga, meditation. You could train like a beast just doing pull-ups and push-ups and body weight stuff. You could be exceptionally proficient. Like even handles or 2 books. You can find free shit on Facebook Marketplace or an OfferUp. Or maybe, you put aside 10, 15 bucks, get a pair of dumbbells or a pair of rings or a pull-up bar. Go to a park that has those workout stations. You can get a lot of stuff done with body weight, especially yoga. We always talk about how amazing yoga is. You don't need any equipment for that. Isaiah's 5G. I have my shoulder injured. Should I go to the gym or it's the end for me? It's not the end.
Come on, stop whining.
Is it the end for me? Yeah, your life is over. Like a horse, you hurt your shoulder. Put him down. Put him down. You should rehab your shoulder. You should focus on doing corrective exercise and bringing your shoulder back into... Yoga's fantastic. I can't go into all the details of... You weren't even specifically. You hurt your shoulder. What'd you do to it? Do corrective exercise. Look up corrective exercise for shoulders that you can do. If you're under medical care for whatever reason, make sure you're medically cleared for exercise. So these questions. Is it the end for me? Stephen ZMR. Papa Soya, where? Oh, nice Ukrainian flag colors in your bio. I am not Ukrainian, but I support you. Okay. Where can I find more inner motivation to get into the gym? You don't. You go to the fucking gym, you do what you should be doing because it's time to do it. You don't have to feel like doing it. That's irrelevant. Most of the time, you're not going to feel like it, so get used to not doing it. That's the standard. You're not going to feel like it. You're not supposed to. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be challenging, but you're going to do it anyway because you're a good boy. Camden Ross, 14. What happens when we need a rest day? Do we still go to the fucking gym? You don't need a rest day. Doesn't mean you train intensely every day. You need an active recovery day. So take care of yourself. Do some yoga. Do some foam rolling. Do mobility work. Aid in the recovery of your body so you can hit it hard again the next day. Jellies NTS. Why does pain and sadness turn into anger at the gym? Jesus Christ.
Emotional damage.
Why does pain and sadness turn into anger at the gym? It doesn't on its own, but the gym is great therapy. It's a great way to channel your emotions. I would also recommend meditation because physical training isn't going to fix shit that's going on in your brain. This is the misconception. You'll feel good temporarily, but if you have a lot of shit going on upstairs, you need to address that where it lies. So meditation, brain gains for your mental health, physical training, which will also aid in your mental health, but it doesn't solve those problems. Understand? Because a lot of the mental health is what you care about, what other people think, your ego getting in the way. There's a lot of things that your brain will interrupt. Physical training helps with that mental acuity and your emotional health. It helps, but it doesn't solve those problems. So you need to address the problems as they lie. So if you have issues going on with your emotions, you need to stabilize yourself, practice mindfulness meditation. We have brain gains inside Swolenormous X, 5, 10, 20, and 30-minute sessions. And that pairs amazing with exercise. I mean, that's why we have the 7 pillars and we have pillar number 6 is mindfulness. So we have that structure. But a lot of people will just, hey, I'm stressed out, I'm frustrated, I'm upset. And they go and train hard and they feel better temporarily and then it comes back, which is good. Exercise is great. It's a great way to channel that emotion, but you need to handle your shit psychologically and pair that up. Eric, follow up. I'm 6 feet inches. 6 feet inches. 6 feet inches.
Matt Damon.
I said that. I said that.
Coffee's for closers only.
Okay. Put the coffee down. Okay. Let's do this. Papa Swole, follow up. I'm 6 feet tall. Eat a lot of red meat and chicken and vegetables, trying to drop the starchy veggies. I tend to lift heavy. My healthiest weight was 180 and was lifting extensively then. Okay. I mean, 6 feet, 255, you're a big boy. You could drop a shitload of weight. You could be 6 feet, 200, easy. 190, 195. It is a process, right? There's a lot of other things that can be challenging your endocrine system. Again, there's so many environmental factors. There's air pollution. There's sleep quality. There's the soaps, shampoos. There's the water. There's a lot of things that are layered here. And I can't go into them every single time someone mentions this, but in the podcast, we're always talking about environmental factors and how that relates to cortisol levels being elevated and things like that. How's your sleep? What's going on with that? Do you work what's your work schedule like? Red meat's good. Do you go for grass-fed beef? What vegetables are you consuming? Have you done an elimination diet? Papa Nafal Afandi, Papa Swole, why should we stay away from vegetable and seed oils? Oh, they're highly inflammatory. These are literally industrial waste products that have been monetized. They are highly inflammatory to the human body. So they used to be used to lubricate machinery. These are things that, like the concentrations, if you look up the ratios and you find out, okay, how much corn does it take to get X amount of, oil? It's an ungodly amount. To get a tablespoon or two of canola oil, it's 60 ears of corn or 70. It's some ungodly number. So we're consuming essentially concentrated industrial waste. One of the best things you can do is eliminate those polyunsaturated, ultra processed vegetable and seed oils. Carson says cake layers. Ooh, my God, get some cake in
Another
here.
example of cake gender would be if someone feels like they have different layers or flavors to their particular gender.
Cake gender. Yeah, Grizzly, only seed oil you need is jojoba oil. Yeah, but don't eat it, right? Don't eat it. Alice from Wonderland. What should I do when I'm bored? Go to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym. Based. Yaz404. How important is breathing technique? It's very important. Breathing technique, cardio versus strength training. Thank you. Yeah, breathing properly is very important. Usually you want to focus on nasal breathing. There's different strategies. I'm not going to go into details on them. You can look them up yourself, but breathing in out through the nose is very important for, let's say, calming your breathing when you're doing things like cold plunge. You want to focus on, as much as you can, breathing in and out through your nose. When you're doing strength training, of course, there's different things like the Valsalva maneuver and things that you can do to increase internal, like thoracic and abdominal thoracic pressure during lifts and to stabilize and brace your core for certain lifts. Usually when you're producing the stress, when you're doing the concentric part of the movement, you're usually exhaling because it'll stabilize the spine in many ways, or you'll allow for all those muscles and internal obliques and things like, to contract, to create force, and you're expelling the air. So yeah, breathing is important. Breathing is important. I wouldn't over obsess with it if you're just starting out, but as you refine and as you become more advanced with your training, you can focus more and more on these techniques. At the beginning, a lot of these things are going to be challenging because you're going to be out of breath when you're doing even basic cardiovascular activity or basic strength training. It's going to be overwhelming. It can definitely help tremendously, but make sure you get into the habit of doing, the nutrition, all the other 7 pillars too, and you can use those techniques and refine them over time. Don't let that be something that limits you. Don't over obsess with that at the start. It's a little bit more higher end, in my opinion. So you can make the argument like, oh, it's the most important thing. You do that first. But things like yoga are great that help you with the breath, because a lot of the yoga instructors for that, for example, inside Swole Enormous X, the breathing, the breath is very important. So yoga is a great way to tie the breath in with your movement, and that can translate to other aspects of your training. Burke himself, who filters your questions? Geez, they might need some coaching. On Instagram, it's just Instagram questions. It's Instagram questions because you get a lot of kids and people from other countries that don't have good English, or there's not a lot of space. So the Instagram questions, you can't write a lot. So a lot of it's like, how lose fat? It's like, okay, how lose? John Papasolia, it seems like the general consensus is fiber intake lowers all-cause mortality. Do you value getting fiber in your diet personally, assuming if you primarily get it through certain fruits? I mean, I get fiber from fruit. I don't try to get like 90 grams of fiber a fucking day. I'm not trying to eat, 7 sticks of broccoli or something like that. So I get a lot from fruit. Yeah, I don't over focus on it. Let's see here. Remember, if you go and you're paying attention, you're working on things to improve your overall how you feel, your joint health, your mental health, and your energy levels and things like that. And you're exercising, you're doing these things, and you go and you get checkups, you go and get blood work done, you get advanced blood work done, you look at these things, and everyone's individualized what they have to work on more. Because you have everyone that eats the same food. Well, some people are going to absorb nutrients differently. Some people are going to have different sleep patterns. Some people are going to have genetics does play a factor in processing of things, depending on, what you were exposed to in the womb and how you were raised. And there's a lot of, I don't eat like vegetables like that. I don't eat a lot of grass. All right, let's see what else we got here. Gonna adjust a couple things. Na. Just going to lower. Yeah, I know the soundboards were a little bit. Those are some new ones. Just going to drop the audio. We'll see how they go. All right, 50 minutes. Time to go into some balls deep. Good questions, fam. That's deep. You mean the new soundboards, right? Not the old ones. The old ones were fine. The old ones were fine. Last thing I want is for them not to be loud enough. I'd rather them too loud than too soft, but I don't want to blow out people's ear holes. Let's get into some balls deep content. If you have a question, submit it over at askpapasolio.com. Tomorrow we'll just take tons of questions. So make sure you submit your questions today and tonight. That way we can get to them for tomorrow's show. So we'll get into a lot of these topics. Really good topics, really good questions. And make sure that you call in if you want to follow up or be here during the live stream. If you're a member, you get a notification, Swole text, Telegram, Discord alerts. That way you know when the live stream is starting. So you can do that as well. That way you don't miss. You can turn on your notifications on YouTube and shit like that, but it's hit or miss, right? You can hit that notification bell and so many members will come into live stream. Yeah, and YouTube turned off my notifications again, which doesn't make sense if you actively turn them on. So it is what it is. So make sure you join the fam and you'll get those notifications, including all the other amazing benefits of being a member and programs and driving while gaining uncensored and accountability meetings and roundtables. We have a roundtable, 5 p.m. Eastern time coming up this next Thursday. So it's going to be awesome. Rise and Swole this past Thursday was lit. Fucking awesome. We'll take one more question at the buzzer. Burke himself says, I have a weak left adductor currently. Besides unilateral training, any tips on strengthening it back? Yeah, I do. It's hard to say. I mean, Cossack squats are great. I can't explain how to do the left adductor movements. I do them on a bench or on my stall bars. I also do adductor work on a 45-degree hyperextension. I just can't explain how I do it properly, but there's a lot of great things. Besides unilateral training, there's really nothing besides unilateral training if you want to bring it up. So a weak left adductor, it's also going to be mobility too. So I would recommend doing stretching and mobility, but also you can use a sliding disc. There's just a lot of ways you can strengthen your adductors. And it's also going to be your semimembranosus and semitendinosus. So you're going to hit like the adductor magnus, but also those more medial hamstring muscles as well. So it's really hard to explain, but sliding discs are great. Doing the adductor work where you're lying, on your side, like a side plank, and you have your one leg up on a bench or up on a couch or a chair, and you can do, your knee could be bent, your leg could be straight. You could be doing adduction. You could use a slide board where you're kneeling with one leg with a kettlebell and you're doing negatives, or you're pulling your leg in and out with one of those sliding discs. Slide discs are great for adductor work. Fantastic for adductor work. But you could also train your adductors with a box or step-ups with your leg up stretching, but using weights through a full range of motion. So one of the things that people unfortunately do when their adductors are tight, or they just stretch and it slaps or snaps right back to being tight again. You need to stretch under resistance through a full range of motion, and that will increase your strength, and it'll also get into more of the tendon and the ligaments in those joints. So full range of motion, strength training through a full range of motion. But you're on the right track. Just look into more of those like adductor exercise. A lot of it's body weight too. But I started doing an exercise on a 45-degree hyper, which is fantastic. So I'm laying on my side. If I'm on my right side on the 45-degree hyper, I will explain this. My right leg is under the support and my left leg is up in the air, and I'm stretching all the way down. So you're getting that hip abduction when you're stretching, and then I use that leg to pull up. So that fucking bottom leg, that inner thigh, is stretching and pulling up. Oh, it's gnarly. It's so fucking good. Gets in there deep, like really fucking deep. Because. All right, let's go balls deep. Good stuff. Good question at the buzzer. I saw it, wanted to get into it. Let's see this. Let's do this one first. I thought this was interesting because we talk a lot about ridiculous things on the show, and of course, as you all know,
boys have a penis, girls have vagina.
Indeed. So I thought this was an interesting headline. People are going to love this one. Elon Musk slams transgender therapy for minors and says parents or doctors who, quote, sterilize a child before they are consenting adults should go to prison for life. Any questions? Any questions? Super fucking based. Super based. I agree. Now, if you're of age and you want to do any kind of surgery like that, you are an adult person. I don't agree with it, but it's also not my pee-pee. It's not my vajiji. It's not my life. But you're a consenting adult that can make a fully adult decision. I would recommend lots of therapy and understand that it's irreversible. You do those things, but not children. Does anyone agree? Like once you get of age, all right, there's a lot of people that are going to do some weird shit. People do bungee jumping and skydiving and they go caving underwater holding their breath. It's like people do weird fucking shit. Fine. Have at it, Hoss. But a child is sick. I don't care if I don't care if it's parents. That's some sick shit. Parents abuse their children. There's a lot of child abuse out there from parents. It's horrible. Those children are going to go through serious trauma that's going to take a lot of therapy to unpack. Just because they're your parents doesn't mean that they can do whatever they want to the child. Agreed? Agreed. I don't think you should be removing parental rights from, when they say, we're at the school, we're trying to create a safe space and we're trying to prevent bullying and harassment at home. No. You don't have the right to you don't have the right to judge your subjective view of what you want to teach my child and keep that from the parent. That's different. You're talking about physical manipulation and physical assault and physical surgery and life-changing and potentially life-threatening surgery or actions and irreversible actions on a child that is not old enough to consent. This is why you see how all this is about consent. All this is about consent. I don't understand why this is so hard to connect. It's consent. This is on the same vein as fucking children. Right? Remember, it's not pedophilia, it's minor attracted persons. So you see how the age of consent for all these things, you can't drink until you're 21, you can't smoke until you're 18, but you can cut your dick off when you're 12 because you think you're a panda. So there's some weird fucking stuff going on. When does that line get crossed where you can just bang children and, like, if there's no age of consent, then everything's out the fucking window. It's strange how some things are, you can't drive until you're 16 or 17 or 18. But you can change your fucking gender. You can manipulate your body and cut your tits off when you're 15 without your parental supervision. Isn't that the way it is in Oregon? A child can gender transition at 15. Why would that? At 15 without parents knowing? That's some sick shit. So your child goes to public school, gets brainwashed by some woke tard. They come home without their tits one day. Oh yeah, I don't need your permission. Can you imagine cutting off a child's breasts without their parents' approval? That's some of the sickest shit you can ever. It's the sickest, one of the sickest type of evil. It's right up there. So anyway, there's obviously going to be backlash. Oh, he's so right wing. Oh, Elon's a Nazi. Oh, Nazi man. When it's really just like literally saying, if I throw this ball up in the air, it will fall to the earth at negative 9.8 meters per second per second. Of course, it's not in a vacuum. So there will be air resistance. It's like just fucking physics. Slams don't sterilize a child before they are consenting adults. What happens if you rape a child? You're going to prison and you're getting fucking raped or murdered yourself in prison. Child molesters and child abusers and sex offenders in prison are like the lowest scum of the low, because even prisoners that are murderers and, bad dudes or women, they have kids, and it's a different type of sickness. It's a different type of evil. Manipulating and harassing and assaulting an innocent child. So you're taking a child's innocence, which is the most precious thing. So it's sick stuff. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Let's wash it out with some Tainty Man. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy. I'm learning a lot from you right now, dude.
Oh, love that soundboard. All right. How was the audio there? A lot better? A lot better? Making progress? Yeah, I'll take it down a little bit. I think I did the limiter a little bit. I always want to make sure it's loud enough and then I can take it down. Take it down in post. Very nice. I am learning a lot. Thank you, Elon, for stating the obvious. All right, pick a number, 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3.
What's in the box?
No, that's not too loud. Come on. Cerny, your old ears. Come on now. All right, I know what to do here. I got your back, Cern. I got your back. Yeah. Making games, taking names. All right. Because I don't want Cerny's ears to be ringing. Let's do Cerny number 3. Cerny number 3. Cerny the goat. I got your Cern. Oh my God, she looks upset. We got one here. Stop shitting on old fat self. Stop shitting on old fat self.
What's in the box? I will rain down an ungodly fucking firestorm upon you.
Hey, if you post a transformation of your body, which just be happy in your new body. Go off and be happy in your new body. We stop shitting on your old fat self. That wasn't a stupid person that you slapped and got into gear. That was a human being. I'm a human being. And you shouldn't have to fucking shrink your body to have value. And it's like, please stop advertising to me. Please get off my fucking For You page. Look, like, there's enough space for that. I don't want it. How many times do I have to report and say not interested to your transformation videos to be left alone in my recovery?
Loud noises!
Okay. Settle down. Come on, stop whining. I don't want to see people being successful on my For You page. I'll stop. Someone else's success, if that makes you upset about your fatness, what does that say? What does that say about you? It says you need to go to the fucking gym. Stop crying. Stop crying. No one needs that. No one needs that.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
Just get off the fucking phone. You do realize that's the simplest solution. Someone like that should not be using the social medias. Agreed? Mika says, Jesus Christ. You should not be online. Oh my God, my For You page is showing me things I don't like. You know what you do, Mochambo? You take the phone, you put it down. You put the fucking phone down, Lassie. Put the shit down.
You fucking people.
Put the phone down. Put it down. Put it down. Put the coffee down.
Coffee's for closers only.
Yeah, too sensitive for life. No kidding, Cerny. Okay. All right. Alan says even her Instagram page knows she needs to go to the fucking gym. Oh, God. All right, let's do... Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, we're doing that last. So I always like to raffle off the videos, but there comes a time when I need to call an audible. All right? I need to supersede. I need to take charge. I can't allow the Swole fam. I can't allow all of you to... I can't allow you to ruin the show. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes there's 2 videos left. We have 3 videos. We'll do 1. Cerny picked number 3. And we'll have 2 videos left. And I see one of the videos and I'm looking and I'm like thinking, you know what? If we choose this video, the show's over. I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm going to blow a gasket and I'm not going to be able to handle the next one. So sometimes I have to. Exactly, Dan. I have to pull rank. I have to be like, nope, we're going to do this one first because the next one is going to make me lose my shit and then it's going to be game over. All right. So let's do this one. This one's, are you afraid of fat people? I'm not afraid of fat people. I'm afraid of you. If I saw this girl in real life, I'd be like, the horror. The horror. No. Are you afraid of fat people? Are you? I'm not. I don't want to die from preventable disease, but I'm not afraid of fat people. I've never seen a fat person and be like, oh my God, I'm so afraid of that person. You know what you do? If you see a fat person and you want to get away from them, just turn around and saunter away. You don't even have to walk. You can meander. You don't even have to have velocity. You can have speed. You don't even need direction, right? Velocity is directional speed. Like speed, you're like, I'll go this way a little bit. I'll go this way. Just casually saunter away. You can mosey. You can meander. You could saunter. Just, they ain't going to chase you. Unless you got some cookies on you. You got to be careful. Okay. That wasn't nice, Papa Swole. Welcome to the Daily Swole. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Are you afraid of fat people? Let's go. Fuck yeah.
What's in the box?
Misery and sadness. Let's check it out.
I always find it a little bit amusing when people act like having a dislike or hatred of fat people is somehow a niche opinion.
I'm going to stop it just because the voice is so good.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
Nah. Sounds like a cordless, like a dust buster that doesn't have enough charge. And the battery's dying. Like, fuck. I didn't charge this goddamn thing. Oh, the charger's unplugged. Fuck. Okay.
I always find it a little bit amusing when people act like having a dislike or hatred of fat people is somehow a niche opinion. Like, there was a Reddit post the other day that was like, what's your unpopular opinion that you would never say?
Go to the fucking gym.
And like the number one thing was somebody being like, being fat isn't attractive.
Attraction's subjective. Beauty is subjective. Stop trying to force your silly opinions on other people. You're fine to voice your opinions, and people are fine to not want to fuck Willie. It's fine. It's fine.
And it's like thousands of upvotes and thousands of comments agreeing. And it's like, yeah.
Upvotes. Get off Reddit. You're spending time on Reddit. This is the average Reddit user, everyone. This is the average Reddit user. Jesus Christ. Are you looking at people's opinions on Reddit? Is this your first day on the internet? The only thing worse than Reddit for a fucking opinion is Tumblr. Does that still exist? Anyway, it's like a... Fuck.
That's actually not an unpopular opinion. Actually, if you go up to most people on the street, they will have negative feelings about fat people. And I just find it so interesting because it really makes me wonder, what are people afraid of? Is the fear that everyone is going to become fat if they're suddenly okay with fat people? Which is a ridiculous assumption, but even if it was true, why is that the worst thing? And it's like, oh, because you don't care to look at fat people.
Shut up, bitch!
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Jesus Christ.
Are there any women here today?
That was loud too. Let's do that again.
Are there any women here today?
Much better. We don't have to. There's nothing to say about that. Let's get a little tainty, man. Let's get. There's nothing. There's nothing. Zero. There's nothing to say about it. There's nothing. There's nothing that we need to cover. By the way, fam, hashtag swole slut, hashtag triple S for a chance to win today's swole card. Okay. Let's. Ooh. Getting a little choppy there. All right. Daddy's back. Let's move on. Shall we? Let's move on. Okay. This, now, a lot of you are wondering, Papa Swolio, you said that you were playing this, you were pulling rank to play this video before the next one. What could that be? What are we putting after that video? And after watching this one, that could have easily been the last one. I agree. And I agree, Stella. Tainty Man is such a good boy. Let's get a round of applause for the Tainty Man. He's such a good boy.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Let's give it Tainty. We don't have any church today, but we do have the Tainty. Oh, Tainty boy. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. He sleeps through all of it. I could yell and be like, oh, Tainty boy. Hello, Tainty Man. I love you, Tainty boy. Tainty Man, Tainty Man. Rufus. Pay attention to me, Rufus. Pay attention. Rufus, someone's robbing the house. Attack them. Save me. Rufus, the house is on fire. Save me, Rufus. I think it's broken. He just knows that when he's on the bed and we're doing the show, you could tell. The second that I'm done with the show, he'll be like, oh, and he'll be looking at me and he'll be awake. When I have these on, whatever the fuck gets said just gets ignored. They both just sleep through all the rants and the screaming. Just nothing. Like it's normal. Fucking day at the office. Par for the course. All right, let's do one more video. This one's called
What's in the box?
All right, if you're sensitive, if you don't want to be pissed off, don't watch this. Let's have a good time though. We can get pissed off at it, but we're just making fun of stupid shit, which is totally fine. This is comedy that writes itself, people. There doesn't need to be any kind of ranting. There doesn't need to. We just play it. It's like, holy shit. It's like libs of TikTok. They just repost the video. Oh my God, you posted the video. Yeah, I just shared what some other idiot shared. It's not her fault. Libs of TikTok. Like, she'll share a video. It's just sharing the stupidity. You don't even have to add commentary. It's makes fun of itself just by existing. I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know what's going to happen here, though. Logan, I'm scared for this one now. I think you should be. I'm scared. I'm going to be media phobic. I'm just going to start being afraid of seeing things online. This one is titled Anti-Trans Conservative Rhetoric. I just start getting like a headache, like over here. Like on the side.
We choose truth over facts.
Let's go. Let's get it done.
What's in the box?
Let's get it done, man. Here we go.
The thing that gets me about the anti-trans conservative rhetoric around like puberty blockers for trans kids is that if they really did care about making sure children weren't being mutilated or weren't being like coerced.
Is that Dylan Swolvaney? It's not. Looks like him, right? I can't tell anyone apart anymore. I can't.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Okay, I don't even know what's going on here.
They would be the #1 advocates for puberty blockers, not only because they're empirically supported and because they were developed for cisgender people, but because they would realize that forcing somebody to go through a puberty with a dominant hormone that is misaligned with your actual gender.
Pause. I'm going to stop you right here, Chief. I personally I don't think I could have more of a problem. In other words, I have a lot of a problem. I don't think I could be more against puberty blockers. I don't think I could possibly disagree with puberty blockers more. So understand, this comes back to the first story that we talked about with Elon Musk, saying that anyone that is mutilating a child should be put in prison. No shit. No fucking shit. You're chemically castrating a child. You can't undo this. It's not reversible. Anyone that says that is either a fucking retard or they're lying to your face or both. Most likely both. Okay.
You switch the samples.
Let's go.
With a dominant hormone that is misaligned with your actual gender, that would be, by their terms, mutilation. Because imagine if we sat a bunch of 13-year-old cisgender boys around and we were like, hey boys, we know that you're boys. And we know that you've been boys as long as you've been alive, and it's very clear to us that you are boys, but we just want to be so sure. So we're actually going to make you go through estrogen-based puberty instead. So that way, like, when you get to the end of that road and you're 18, you can decide if you still wanted to be that boy that you know, always showed signs that you were. Can you imagine if we did that? That would be fucked up. But that's literally what you are doing to trans kids. Because forcing somebody to go through a puberty with a dominant hormone that is misaligned with your actual gender is a forced mutilation by conservative standards. So you would think that they would be the #1 advocates for blockers and go, oh my gosh, yeah, why don't we like put a pause on this? So that way you can decide and like in a couple years see how you feel. Like, I just wish they would shut up.
You can't pause. You can't pause. And I don't believe that there's trans kids. I think the fact that you are feeding into this dysphoria is the problem. I am open to the discussion of someone wanting to do that when they are a consenting adult. I think the whole idea of a child is that they do not have a fully formed brain. Most people don't until they're 25. They can't give consent. They don't understand repercussions. They don't understand all the consequences of their actions. They don't. They can't make that choice autonomously. That's why you have parents. That's why parents exist. That's why parents exist. That's why parents exist to use their brains to guide the child into adulthood. And then the child becomes their own adult and they become the parent and they can make the choices for their child. So the job of a parent is to prepare a child for life, right? To protect them, to make sure they survive until adulthood so they can reproduce and perpetuate. That's the parent's job. Some parents do a very good job. Some parents do a piss poor, garbage, shit, evil job, and everything in between. I don't think that's a lot to agree on. You know what I mean? I don't think that's, obviously it is, but it's hard for me to square that circle. It's hard for me to it's hard for me to see how that is complicated and how that is challenging for some people to understand. Let's take some comments here too, because anything that you think I could possibly say about this video, let's just fill in the blank. I said all those things. Any rant, any rage, done. I did that. It's in my head. My brain's leaking. I told you this was the last one. How would we do it? How would we do another video after that? It would have been hard either way, but I mean, I'm always hard, so because Mariah, don't you love how you can be responsible for another person's biological development but not your own health? Ooh. Mariah getting on the gain train to Based Town. Good Lord, a one-way ticket. All aboard. Grizzly, I've said it before. You have said this before. Live in an era where parents want to be their kids' friends. That's Yeah, big way. Do you think, I'm just posing, this just popped into my head. Do you think, I'm not talking about it from a surgery standpoint. What do you think, how do you think the Kardashians filter into this? Because you're seeing the mother kind of be their kids' friends. The Kardashians have been on TV for a long time. I know this isn't necessarily a really current thing, but how long have the Kardashians been on? You know, you have like the parents, of course, they're getting all sorts of surgeries and things like that. But shows like that where the parents, I guess sitcoms do that kind of thing too, where the parents are the kids' friends or they act like it and it's the lines are blurred. That just popped into my head when I saw you say. You've been saying that a lot though, Mark. Let's see, Loretta, there are so many trans kids now. It's the quote in thing. Most of them are really not. We talk about this a lot. What's wrong with being a gay woman or a gay man? You're a lesbian. You're a gay man. You're a man that likes dudes. All right, have at it. More women for me. You're a woman who likes women. Bummer, but, you know, take one for the team. No, right? You like what you like. Okay, fine. But you're a woman and you're a man and you like other men. Cool. You're a woman. You like other women. Go for it. I'm not sitting here. You can't do that. That's evil. You're sinning. That's for the devil. Scissoring's for the devil. I don't care. Go cut a rug. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Right? I don't care what you do inside your own home. You choose to do what you want to do. Totally fine. But we talk about this a lot. A lot of you are saying I was a tomboy. What was a tomboy? A girl who liked trucks and played sports and played with the boys and was rough and liked football and stuff like that. Okay. And sometimes they grow out of it. And you can be a masculine woman and still be heterosexual and still want to be with a man. There are women that are more masculine, have more masculine traits. There are men who have more feminine traits. We know that today in a big way. But that just might make you a more feminine man. We call them soy boys today, but some men are just more feminine or have more feminine characteristics, like secondary traits. Doesn't mean they don't like women. It doesn't mean that they're a woman. They might still like women. They might like men. They might like both. Okay. Doesn't mean that they are a woman. They're not a woman. So let's put it that way. They're not. They're just not. But it doesn't mean that they should be inverting their dick. You know, doesn't mean women should be cutting off their thigh skin and forging a pseudocock. Doesn't mean those things. Pumping it up with like, ugh. Oh, God. Bottom line, stay away from the children. Stay away from the children. There are a lot of insane people in this world. Okay. Why do you have to make irreversible decisions for children? Why do you have to mutilate the children? It's not complicated. You're 25 years old. You want to fucking get some go through the necessary channels and therapy and make sure that it's legit so people aren't getting sued. And that's really what you want to do. And that's your life and that's your dream. Oh, but we're going to stop it before. You are taking people's choices away. You're taking away their innocence. You are ruining their chance of ever having a child. Most people are miserable after, and they're miserable forever, and they're depressed, and they're committing suicide. This is going to be so fucking terrible in the next 20, 30 years when this shit continues to crumble, when you have the after effects of all of this manipulation. God, it's going to get so much worse. This is where I think it's just going to get so much worse because it can't be getting better because these people are going to age up and they're going to have a lot of anger and a lot of depression and they're going to have a lot of rage. The left already has a lot of rage. It's going to get fucking worse. Yeah, Robin, they call detransitioners transphobic. Hey, I'm speaking out against this insanity. You're afraid of trans people. No, I have a brain with more than 4 brain cells. I got a triple-digit IQ. How do you like these nuts? Chris Johnson, prepubescent children are not mature enough to make a life-altering decision like that, period. I saw this other post. Where is that one? Alan, my 7-year-old, just asked me why the sun follows us everywhere we go in the car. He says easily 20 years, right? That's cute. Okay. I was saying people's brains don't really... might not completely form until 25. 7-year-old, why does the sun follow us everywhere? Now, Alan, think about this. People are feeding into 7-year-olds, not your child, hopefully, but other 7-year-olds. Imagine facilitating that your, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, you didn't say, wants to be another gender, and you are looking into puberty blockers for your 7-year-old. Like, can you imagine that, Alan? Picture that. Picture your little boy or girl you didn't mention, so I don't know. Imagine that. Ludicrous. And this is why I always come back to the Santa Claus thing. Kids believe in fucking Santa Claus. What else will they believe in? If you believe a fat man's going to come down and eat processed sugar in your living room, leave presents and get back up a fucking chimney, and fly fucking reindeer and visit every fucking house in the entire world in one night, and you believe that, fuck, you believe that, what else will you believe? You believe you're a fucking unicorn if your parents tell you. Loretta, you're taking away their chance to have kids of their own. That's so bad. Yeah, it's brutal. Stella, I like trucks and climbing trees. Tomboy for sure, but never wanted to be an actual boy. Perhaps today they would think I was a boy, though. Scary, right? And look how you turned out. Full-blown woman. Shocker. Shocker. Chris, I have a trans kid and she didn't make the choice until she was 20 and we had her go to therapy before starting the drugs. Much better than an 8-year-old. Everyone's got to make their own choices, but at the same time, it's like, this is like the creepiest thing. Like, the puberty blockers, like children, not adults, children. Santa isn't real. Aww. Sorry, Chris. BK, my son is 3 and he steals his sister's purse all the time. Doesn't mean shit. He's just playing, but parents these days would make him a girl instantly. Oh, he's looking, he wants to be a woman. Look at him with a purse. Here, put some heels on. Put the dress on. Oh, he's so cute. You're such a cute girl. You feel like a girl? You a boy or a girl? You're a girl right now, aren't you? Eric, I'm afraid of trans people fucking up my future children, so I guess that makes me transphobic. It makes you a parent that is concerned about the future that your kids will inhabit. And I think that's totally reasonable, as many people should be. And I think this is another thing. A lot of people don't take these issues seriously. I think it's harder for people to take these issues seriously, especially if they don't have kids, because a lot of people that don't have children, like the left, right? They don't have children of their own. They have yours. When you don't have children, you're fearful of the future, because the only thing that is at the end of the line is death, is nothingness. So you have more despair. You don't have that hope for the future. You don't have as much. And I know some people don't want to have kids and make that decision, but if that's your decision, that's fine. Then this won't bother you. But I think a lot of people don't have that, so they don't have anything surviving them. So they have a lot of fear and anxiety with the unknown of the future and all that internalized angst, and they're radiating it out. I think a lot of times that's why people that are more conservative have a lot more of these morals, because they are looking at their children and thinking, hey, I want a better world for my kids. This is going fucking nuts. I'm protecting my children. I have a family. You know, you think more long-term, you think more generationally. You have a lot of hope because you know you are living on after you go through your children. And many people on the left don't. Conservatives have more children than liberals, of course. And that, I think that's an issue that causes a lot of stress, anxiety. It causes a lot of unnecessary activism because you're spending all that human energy elsewhere where it would normally be used to raise a child. You're projecting it onto other types of movements, hashtags, victim oppression Olympics, because you're looking for something, you're looking for value, you're looking for meaning. There's a loss of religion, so you're attaching to some ideology and daddy government to worship. You're worshiping these movements and these hashtags, which is why it just fluctuates with the wind, the way the wind blows. The wind changes, and that's why there's no proper language. There's no definition. Like, what is a woman? That's some scary shit. That's Orwellian 1984 shit. Definitions change on a whim. You're changing history to suit the present. Right? And that's the famous Orwell quote, he who controls the present controls the past. He who controls the past controls the future. That's why revisionist history is so evil and sinister. It's not that we can't have a good discussion about what happened in the past and reframe things appropriately, but making up shit, changing definitions, that's what alters the future. And when you look back, you don't see all the revisions. You just see, oh, this is the way it was. This is the way it always was. We've always been at war with Eurasia. We've always been at the war with East Asia, right? From 1984. And when you hit Control-Delete and you revise and everything's digital and things change so much, you just forget what was true and what wasn't. And as generations come in, things get lost, right? The fire at Alexandria, when the city was burned and shit like that, like we lost a lot of history, a lot of things that we might have learned about the pyramids or about other cultures that just got lost. What happened 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, 30,000 years ago? Shit gets eroded and we just don't know. It's a mystery. Shit existed. We just don't know what it was. So there's a lot of things. I know I went off on a tangent, but again, I just think it's because of when you have children, when you have a family, you care about the world that your family grows up into and your kids grow up into. So you're looking at these issues, you take them more seriously, whereas, you know, the activists are just going nuts, just burning shit down because they don't have hope for the future. They don't have anything to look forward to. They are in a constant state of fear and anxiety because they just get manipulated like a mob. They just get manipulated like a swarm of bees by the mainstream media and the attention culture and hashtag culture. And the algorithm has just hijacked people's brains. And these are people that are extremely vulnerable. We see that with fat acceptance. We see that with body positivity. We see that with all these movements. They're very, very vulnerable people that don't have a purpose, that don't have any true, moral grounds. So they just fluctuate and just go different directions wherever they're pointed. And because they're made to be in constant fear of other people, their safe space, their little bubble. Oh, they're the evil person. I'm good, but they're bad. If they say anything I don't like, oh, they're evil. Everything is violence. Everything is sensitive. Everything is cancel, delete, kill, eliminate, eradicate. They're the violent ones. The left is the violent. That's where the violence is coming from. That's where the cancel culture is coming from. It's not the right, it's the left. It's the liberals. That's where it's coming from. The progressives. That's where it's coming from. The Democratic Party. That's where it's coming from. And there's different layers and there's different beliefs. I'm not saying everyone on that side or that has their political party or affiliation X, Y, and Z is like that, but far and beyond. It's an accurate representation of what's going on. So you didn't see in 2020, you didn't see conservatives burning down, causing $2 billion worth of damage and 30 murders and things like that. Mental health is in the pits. It's very easy to be scared. It's very easy to be fearful of the future, especially when you're graduated and you didn't learn any real skills. You've been insulated until you're 25, graduating college, and you don't have anything of value to provide to the world. You don't have anything except, oh, he hurt me, or she hurt me, or that's a mean person, or that person looks different than me. That person's black. So, we need to make sure that, and I'm a white person, but, I'm an ally. I'm on your side. So you should do this, or you should be here, or we'll hire you because you have a more melanin. It's like, well, is that the most qualified candidate? You have these people that have never been in the real world that are being spit out, and their only skill is to cry and complain and point fingers. So anyway, that being said, I didn't think we'd have an epic rant, but it's all right. It's all right. Hopefully that made sense. Okay.
This house is a fucking
Tainty
prison!
Man.
I'm
Tainty
playing
boy.
bullshit!
Oh, Tainty
The
boy.
galaxy of this sucks camel
Daddy
dicks!
loves you. Daddy loves you. Tainty man, my little biche. Okay, Tainty boy. I love you. Fam. There you go. Time for a schmoke and a pancake. Papa's rants are like good sex. Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Okay. Time for a Swole Slut card. Remember, tomorrow is Ask Papa Swole Live. Let's fucking go. Swole Slut. Who's that Swole Slut? We got a winner, Mika Ash. Congratulations! A Swole Slut indeed. I mean, it could land on anyone. We got so many Swole Sluts here. But Mika, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2535 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Thank you so much for playing, for being here. Fam, we'll take some soundboard requests. Drop in the comments down below. Let's fucking go. We've got some piano talk coming up in just a minute.
Looks like the bus station with Total Recall.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy. I'm learning a lot from you right now, dude.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I thank you, boy. Thank you, man. Oh, you're a good boy. Good boy.
Matt Damon.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
A jelly donut?
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Come on, man.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Crucifixion is good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Ooh, skipping a little bit. All right, baby. He's on fire! Fire.
I am the danger.
How about I send you a hobo's dick cheese?
Now, once you've had sex with a woman, she will naturally start to depend on you, okay? All women do this.
Are there any women here today?
Shut up, bitch!
Here we go. Coast to coast. All right, very nice.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
All right, fam, join us. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out. Head on over to swolenormousx.com and join the fam today. And also, if you want to submit a question, askpapaswolio.com. All the links to join the Swole fam, to submit a question, to check out apparel, all that is in the show notes and description down below. Thanks for being here so much. Oh, before we go, these two fucking hands. Fuck. Oh my God, I got to crank up that hog. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for Ask Papa Swolio Live 2536. Thank you for being here. Peace, McGeese. Deuce Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.
crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.